is the gentleman that my guest in studio has worked with personally. I'm talking James Otto. Call me the Breeze on Thunder 106, 106.3, and 106.5. So he is a legend on the Jersey Shore who is taking his crack at Nashville, and it's starting to pay off for him in a big way. And he's doing a homecoming tonight in Asbury Park. And if that weren't enough, he's celebrating a birthday as well. John Eddie, welcome to Thunder 106, man.
Hey, brother. Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. And a very happy birthday to you, sir.
It's actually not till the 9th, but we just milk it to get people out to the show.
Well, that's the whole idea, man. You got to milk that thing. You know, every birthday's a landmark.
We have like 5 birthday shows just coming up in the next week and a half. Just, you know, it's whatever we can to try to get people out to the show.
That's a good point because you're in Asbury Park. You're also going to be down in Atlantic City, so you really are milking this thing.
And next Friday we're at the Hard Rock in Philadelphia, too. So we're like, so that's all but the 9th is actually my birthday, so.
Okay, well, feel free to celebrate with John tonight at the Stone Pony in Asbury.
I'm old enough to have as many birthdays as I want.
Amen. You know? And the thing is, I know how old you are. I'm not going to say it, but it's like...
feel free. I'm 50. I'll be 55 on Wednesday.
And he looks better than I do, and I'm younger than him, and I'm sitting there going, dude, you definitely made a deal somewhere because you look great.
Well, thank you. Well, I appreciate that. And it's still... I was telling somebody I'm naming my next album... or whatever they call it these days, Oh My Aching Everything. So, I may be holding up on the outside. The inside is like, you know, combing my hair hurts. So,
man. We're here with John Eddie here on Thunder 106, who has co-written a couple of songs that you know here on Thunder 106, and one that you're going to be introduced to before we wrap up. Yeah, we're going to debut that Colt Ford song, which I've already heard, and it's great.
Cool.
But the one that everybody seems to know is the Brantley Gilbert. What was it like? You know, you're co-writing, and there's got to be a difference between writing for yourself, which you've done for many, many years.
Yeah.
You've had the pop rock hits in the past, and now you're doing it for somebody else. Is there a difference in the mentality of doing a song that way?
You know, it's every time you sit down to write, it's different, but it's weird. I mean, the whole thing with Nashville happened for me because Kid Rock cut my song Low Life. And that was due to my buddy Henry Vaccaro Jr., who's sitting next to me here today at the studio. Henry got my song to Kid Rock, and that's the first time someone had ever heard a song of mine and said, oh, I want to cut it. And Kid Rock cut it, and he added a verse. So it was really like my first, time co-writing with somebody,
right.
And then when I got that paycheck, when I saw what it was like when someone that actually sells records and has songs on the radio, when I saw what that looks like, I said I should take this and go where songwriters live, and I took that money and I went down to Nashville, and I still kept my house in New Jersey, but I bought a place in Nashville, and so I really got into the songwriting thing where you sit down and co-write with people, which is something I had never done before. And it's funny, the first person I co-wrote with in Nashville was James Otto, and
we just played, yes.
Just played, and that song that we co-wrote was not the one that you just played, but
it was something different.
The song that we wrote was called. It was not the last one we wrote. It was Love Don't Cost a Thing, and that was on his second record. And then the second song I co-wrote when I got to Nashville was More Than Miles with Brantley. And so it's interesting, but it's all different every time you sit down. I mean, with Brantley, with that song particularly, it was the first time I met him. He came to my place in Nashville. He was living in Georgia at the time. And I'd never met him, and he came to was set up through the publishing company, and he came to my door, and he just looked like a scruffy kid, and and he had like a flask he drank at the time, and he's like, hey, you want a shot? I was like, dude, it's like 12:30 in the afternoon. So anyway, he started talking about this girl he knew, and we just started writing, and took us that afternoon, and then 3 years later it makes it on his record and becomes a single.
Yeah, and a top 10 hit of country, as a matter of fact, as well.
Yeah, it did really well. That's the best, to be honest, as far as radio goes, that's the best thing I've ever been involved with. It was real exciting to see, it go up the charts, and it was and Brantley, I don't know if anybody's ever, if you have a chance, go see him live. He's a badass, and he's really got a grassroots thing going that's more than just, his songs on the radio. He's got a fan base that's like the Kiss Army. Like, it's crazy.
We're live with John Eddie here on Thunder 106. John, I want to talk more about your work with Kid Rock, because I am curious what this guy is like. We are going to debut the new Colt Ford he has co-wrote, which also features Keith Urban. And since we're talking Brantley Gilbert, this is the song that John Eddie has co-wrote and took nearly to the beginning of the charts. At number 6, it topped out at on the country charts. Brantley Gilbert, More Than Miles on Thunder 106. That song you know very well from Thunder 106, More Than Miles by Brantley Gilbert, the man who co-wrote it, is sitting in studio with me and playing in Asbury Park tonight. Jersey's own John Eddie is here on Thunder 106, and if you're just tuning in, he was talking about Kid Rock a little earlier, and I get the feeling you give a little bit of credit to Kid Rock, kind of opening this door to Nashville. What is he like? Because he just seems like the kind of guy that you're going to drink a lot of beers, have a lot of shots, and have a lot of fun with the guy.
Yeah, he's that. And then he's also, the sweetest guy in the world. And I'm not like, he can be a rock star, but then he could turn around and he's like the guy next door. And he's in terms of, a lot of people have the reputation. Some people are down there, some people over top.
Yeah.
I don't know that he has, but he's such a rock star and he's so flamboyant. He's so, over the top. I don't think people realize what a sweet guy he is. He's been very nice to me, but we've also knocked back a few shots in our time and stuff.
Absolutely.
But he's just a really cool guy, and he's always had his one of his boots in Nashville, but he also, he's got the hip hop thing, he's got the hard rock thing going,
I got a feeling that kind of helped you a little bit too, knowing that it's like, okay, you know what? I've done one side, now I'm doing the other. John, I'm going to help you kind of, maybe not intentionally, but I'm going to help you kind of come into this side of it, open the door, and you can have both sides of your life, basically.
Well, just the fact that I could go to Nashville and, say I've written with Kid Rock, opened some doors, absolutely.
Had to.
And, what got me my publishing deal, that when I first moved there, I signed to Warner Chappell, which is a big publishing company.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was all because that they wanted a piece of the Kid Rock song that we had written together.
Sure.
So that was very, it's weird. When Kid Rock cut Low Life, we didn't know he was going to cut it. Henry got him the CD, and then it was a year later, my phone rang in the middle of the night, and I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't pick it up. Mm-hmm. And he was like, John Eddie, this is Kid Rock. I just cut your song Low Life. And it's a mother blanker.
Now you're thinking this is a joke at first,
and then he hangs up, right?
Oh, whoa!
And then he calls back, and again I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't hear these messages till the next day because I was just going I was tired. I didn't feel like I thought it was just crank calls or something. Mm-hmm. And so then the next message was right after that was, I need to add a few bells and whistles to it so you can buy yourself a house. And then he hangs up again, right? And so I told him the story that, and who knows if he was drunk when he called, right? I said, you said you were going to buy me a house. And I said, you cutting that song bought me a house in Nashville.
Fantastic.
And then it's funny, he told that story to Sheryl Crow at the CMT Awards. He was introduced me to Sheryl Crow, and he told the story, and then so it's a thing,
Absolutely. Yeah. John Eddie here on Thunder 106. I'm going to drag Henry in for one question, since you kind of got the ball rolling. You can jump on that mic here, Henry.
Hey now, Thunder Nation.
Since you're semi-responsible for this, did he at least cut you a residual or as a finder's fee with all this?
You know what? John's been my best friend for the past 20, 30 years, I think it's been. He treats me well. Let's put it that way.
Enough said.
He buys me some dinners, when he's in town, and allows me to tag along to these interviews. So
Yeah, fantastic.
He got a couple of Low Life checks.
Okay.
All right. No, absolutely. I've told many people that I've had big deal managers, I've had this and that, and Henry's the only one that got my song to someone who could actually to take it to the next level.
Fantastic.
So
it is a great story. It really is. I mean, guys, it is a fantastic story because you think about it, the odds of this just kind of like one random call leads to Kid Rock calling him and saying, hey, I've recorded your song, you're going to get a house out of the deal, and boom.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but now Henry doesn't get anything now.
Except a seat in the chair right next to John Eddie, who's here on Thunder 106. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will debut the new song John Eddie's co-written for Colt Ford, and I promise you're not going to be disappointed. I've already listened to it a few times. It's good. Thunder 106, stay here.
Like us on Facebook.
Colt Ford along with Keith Urban on Thunder 106. That's the brand new one called She's Like. And the man who co-wrote the song is sitting here, John Eddy, here on Thunder 106 at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park tonight. Also will be at the Hard Rock in Philadelphia coming up soon. Also got a date in Atlantic City tomorrow.
Yep, tomorrow afternoon at Bally's Beach Bar. But come out to the Pony tonight.
Yeah, come out to the Pony tonight since you're in the area.
Yeah.
It's an interesting combination because on the surface I would sit there and say, Colt Ford, the rapper, the Aussie Keith Urban, and the Jersey guy. And there's a joke in here somewhere. A rapper and a Jersey guy and an Aussie walk into a bar.
You know what? I don't know what the punchline is, but you're right.
Well,
it sounds like
it does sound like a joke.
Yeah, well, you know what? That came about. Rich Redmond is Jason Aldean's drummer, and he's like, he's just a great guy, but he's also a songwriter. Mm-hmm. And he called me up and said, do you want to write tomorrow with Colt Ford and this kid Jake Meds, who's in a rock band he was on Atlantic, a band called New Medicine, and this kid Jake Meds is just a genius, guitar player, singer. He's got a cool ass band, and the four of us, again, we started writing. That's what came out in an afternoon. And Jake did a demo of it, a home demo of it, and then Colt played it for Keith Urban, and Keith dug it and said, I'd love to be on it, and he played banjo and sang the chorus. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's just crazy that words I wrote, Keith Urban singing, and and Colt is like the godfather of this whole, now some people call it bro country, whatever, a lot of the hip hop influenced country that's out there.
Right.
But he was doing it before everybody. Him and Brantley wrote Dirt Road Anthem for Jason Aldean, and that really kind of started. And you can go back. Johnny Cash did spoken word songs and stuff like that, but
not to the commercial level that we're having right now with this. It's like he has basically kicked a door down. Best way of putting it.
Yeah. And Colt comes from from real rap. I mean, he's like from the Georgia rap community. So it wasn't. But he just started, deciding to rap about what he grew up with, which is backwoods stuff, and so. He's another. I tell you, to be honest with you, I mean, I love New Jersey, and I still consider Jersey home.
Right.
But I've been in Nashville now going on 5 years, and I got to say, the people down there are just some of the sweetest people, and it's just real laid back and easy going, and it's a cool thing to be a part of, and believe me, I'm still like trying to get put my foot in the door down there, even though I've gotten some cuts and stuff like that, and it's still like there's guys down there that have 20 songs on the radio, so it's like I'm proud of the ones that I got, but it's still a struggle to get a song on the record, so I've been lucky,
John Eddy here on Thunder 106. See, it raises a very important question before I play a song from you and get ready to wrap this up. Because now that you've sort of got two sides, you still love to rock, you still love to do your shows, and your reputation, your live shows are always been phenomenal. That's the one thing. You go to a John Eddy show, you're going to be thoroughly entertained. You're going to get 2 hours of great music, and the man is a diehard. He just knows how to rock.
Thank you. And my band, my band is I love the guys in my band. They've been playing with me for a long time, and we don't have anything to fall back on. So we're still doing it. Yeah. So.
Well, this is. I'm going to pose this question, and you got to choose one or the other, and it's sort of a hypothetical.
Okay.
You've already had a top 20 hit in your career. We can go back to 19 to Jungle Boy. We could. All right. You could have another one of those, or you could write a CMA award-winning song. Choose one.
The CMA award.
You want the song, eh?
Yeah. And only because it's like I kind of, like we said earlier, I'm 55 years old. I'm past the point of more than likely my shelf life as far as being a rock star is passed. But I can still be a working musician, still play. I love to play for the people that want to come see us, but I have no delusions that I'm going to be a star, like, it's like, so the thing that's always been important to me the most has been the writing, and to me and when it comes to writing, it's been the lyrics more than anything. So I just like telling stories, and it's like, so if I could get a song that could touch more people's lives because someone, a bigger artist than me, cut it, I'd rather the bigger artist cut so more people heard the song,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair
so
enough.
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
John Eddy at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park tonight. Doors, I believe, are going to be opening around 8 o'clock. John will be going on sometime between 10 and 11 o'clock. Get there early, get settled in, have a great time tonight. And You're going to have to come by again. Now that you open the door, you got to come by again. We'll have a back in a few months, and I know there's more stories inside you.
Also just want to warn, not warn, but they're doing the Asbury Park fireworks.
Very good point, yeah.
And it's like, I know it's going to be crazy down there, so come down early and then watch fireworks and come over to the Pony. So it's just, in terms of parking and stuff, I know it's supposed to be a zoo because they changed the fireworks that got canceled last night till tonight, so...
A full night, and a really entertaining night at that. And I think the appropriate way to go out is to play something from John Eddie. I happen to have Country in My Blood. I think we'll fire that up for you.
Thank you.
John, thank you. Don't be a stranger. It's been great to have a Jersey guy who is doing well. Thank you so much, my friend.
Nice to see you again, brother.
Nice to see you again. Yes, we go way back to like 1990. Rockin' Country. Thunder 106 with John Eddie.